Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's great to be back after the summer break with the next of our HR Grapevine webinars. My name is Peter Crush. I'm the features editor here at HR Grapevine, and it's my pleasure this morning to be able to introduce you all to what I know will be a really fascinating discussion on the topic of the realities of frontline organisational change. Moderating and taking charge of proceedings today is Chris Ducker, who's Head of Product Marketing at Orgvue, and he'll be posing and asking questions to our assembled panel today, which I'm going to leave him to introduce you in a short moment. This is your chance today to really learn and listen and really take some information back with you in your organisations. The aim of this webinar is also to be very interactive. So we're going to be leaving some time at the end of today's session for questions. So I'm going to be here in the background taking questions and just seeing what comes through, and we'll leave those and present them at the end. If we don't get through all of our questions, don't worry. The team and the panel will endeavour to answer your questions as well. So if we don't get through everything, we will get back to you. That's pretty much it for me from the housekeeping point of view. All that remains now is to introduce you, and I really hope you have a great session and learn a lot. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Chris. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks very much, Peter, and good morning, everybody, and welcome to this this webinar on the realities of frontline organisational change. I'm joined this morning by Sam Holmes, who's the Managing Director at Accenture, leading the operating model and organisational design work across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And Sam advises multinational clients and government organisations on how to become more effective by designing and implementing new enterprise and functional operating models. He's passionate about reimagining how work gets done and has experience across multiple industries working globally, regularly speaking on this topic, and in fact has just published his most recent book, The Rethinking Operating Models, which is focused around designing people and technology. So delighted to have you with us and your expertise today, Sam. With Sam, we also have Joep de Bruin. He's the Director of Professional Services at Orgvue. He specializes in guiding organizations through transformative change initiatives, focused very much on aligning business strategy and cutting-edge methodology. Cutting-edge methodologies and technology. Joep's dedicated to helping clients navigate complexity and achieving ongoing business benefits from transformations that they do, and has a track record of leading multiple transformation projects. Joep's strength is in constructing data-driven decision and particularly around org design, restructuring, and mergers and acquisitions. So welcome to yourself, Joep, as well. So before we actually start the question section, what I thought that I would do is just talk about three areas that we are seeing. Let me just get the technology right here. That we are seeing in the organizational and transformations space. So, often quoted that change is the only real constant, and that's never really been truer than it is today. Whether it's driven by political, economic, or environmental factors, there's clearly quite a lot of change that people are experiencing today. So how do organizations keep up with this change? We're seeing change programs really operating in three sort of formats. Firstly, there's the large and very often high-profile restructuring events incorporating reduction in force, driven late in the day, and cost takeout activity. But what we're also noticing in these is that they're painful, disruptive, and often more costly than planned. And in fact, some research that we've done recently shows that for every pound that you save in a cost reduction program, you often spend 127, so nearly 30% more in associated costs with redundancies or effect on the productivity for the other people remaining in the organization. The second is the event-based transformation. Now, this is more planned. It's certainly more strategic and is still challenging, but needs careful planning associated with it. And with this one, I think the thing about this is that if you operate in a more planned environment, you get much more buy-in from the organization and the cost benefit can be much higher. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. But what we're also seeing is that people are migrating from these larger scale transformation events into a more continuous, proactive change, more incremental, less disruptive, and requires longer term investment in the organizational and workforce change program and the insights that you need to go ahead and do that. So what we'll do today is we'll explore how HR teams can actually align workforce and strategy and ensure you've got the right people are doing the right work at the right time and in the right place.